Om Shang no Mitra Shang Varuna Shang no Bhavattaryama Shang na Indro Brihaspatihi Shang no Vishnu Rurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Prattaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Prattaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritang Vadishyami Satyang Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Advaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tat Padam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Harihi Om Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. By the grace of the Holy Trio, I am happy to see many of the devotees here. It's wonderful to see the devotees, again and again. As Ramakrishna says, that anybody who is accustomed to take some honeybees, then if he sees another person holding that, he is also very happy to see him. So likewise, devotee seeing is always a pleasant thing. I'm happy that my brother Premadananda also has joined from Narayanpur. A place, Narayanpur is a very, very remote place in India, in Madhya Pradesh. It's a very beautiful work that has been started by Swami Atmanandji Maharaj in Madhya Pradesh. And that center has grown from strength to strength by other Swamis. And our present interim President Maharaj, Swami Gautamanandji Maharaj, was also secretary there. So before we start the class, we all pay our respects and homage to the Swami, the President Maharaj, who passed on and who attained Mahasamadhi only a few days back. We don't mourn the sadhu's demise. Most of you might be knowing that we actually rejoice, because the biggest constraint of a sadhu to feel that he is Atman is this body. So when the body is left by a sadhu and he moves on to the another plane, and that is considered as a very joyful occasion. So we never say we are mourning the death of a president. We do not say that. We do memorial meetings in his memory, but we don't mourn about him. So that is the thing that we all, as devotees, we all should know first. We are reading the dedicated disciples. The title is such that I told you as a disclaimer in the first class itself. This does not take into account only the initiated disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. No, we are going far, far away from that concept, and we are including anybody who has come under contact with Sri Ramakrishna and whose life was transformed. So we saw that how is Rani Rashmani, that her life was so big, it went on, and I think some people lost patience also. But how it went on, because its classes were like that, you see. But now we are passed on to the next person, who is called Mathurnath Biswas, or Mathura Mohan Biswas. Now this person was in charge of the entire estate, started by Rani Rashmani. Rani Rashmani had lots of estates, as we know, and then somebody required, to maintain, to keep an eye over the entire conduct of the estates, and for that, Mathurnath was the best person. So this Mathurnath Biswas life history we have started. And one important point that we neglect to understand in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, I would say, is this. What is this? That for the arrival of Sri Ramakrishna and for his spiritual ministry, everything has been previously thought out and arranged. There is nothing somebody has to strive to make something come up in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. He was only a 19-year-old boy. At that time, he came to Calcutta and came to Dakshineswar. And our 14 years from that time onwards, Mathurnath Biswas was seeing this boy. He was greatly attracted to this boy. Not because he was really cute or handsome. This boy had sterling qualities of tapasya, titiksha, and the renunciation, the tyaga. These wonderful qualities, what attracted our Mathurnath Biswas initially. He saw this boy, he was cooking for himself. He is not eating from others' food. What does that mean? Was he very selfish? No. He was so considerate about his purity of the food that is going to eat. Because if the food eaten is pure, the mind gets pure. Every time Sri Ramakrishna used to say that prasad has to be taken. When anybody comes to him, he would give the Ma Kali's prasad from the Dakshineswar Kali temple. He would ask him. And one day, one devotee was with him. That is one of the direct disciples was with him. And he asked, why are you telling the Kali Puja Bhandari that you must give the prasad? Because you are not going to eat any of those things. Nothing is fit for your stomach. But why are you asking for that? He said, don't you know, people come to my room and they sit there and they listen to me. And when they go back, they should take mother's prasad. At that time, from where you will get the mother's prasad? So I am collecting it, he says. So giving prasad, that purified food, was very important for Sri Ramakrishna. And he has advised that everywhere, wherever any temple you go, take the Charanamrit, take the prasad if available there. If not, ask for that prasad. Definitely they will have some prasad and they will give you. This prasad taking itself is a wonderful science, that's what we find. That is, of course, it's a very big topic it will be that I don't want to get into today. Otherwise, we can't finish this Mathurnath Biswas story. But then I tell you, because I'm telling you, this particular aspect of prasad acceptance by a person and how that prasad purifies the mind is actually a science. When we see that there is what is called a process in the Vedanta. So in Vedanta also accepts that, as well as many of the systems of Indian philosophy accept this theory that every object that is physically seen, physically experienced, has got a simultaneous, a thing that is very, very sukshma, very, very subtle. So a physical object, say we see a laddu, physical object, one laddu, but it has got a simultaneously a subtle force of that physical object. So in this world, in this prapancha, whatever you see physical is nothing but that subtle object that has become solidified due to the three gunas, as the Shastra says. Swamiji also agrees to this view, that whatever we see externally, anything physical, is nothing but solidification of the something subtle. That subtle is something. That subtle and this physical have got some close relationship. So from here to you can change there. You can stay from that and then come to here. So this is very beautiful idea that we see in many Shastras. But now let us go into this factor that Mathurnath Das saw Sri Ramakrishna in different stages. So 14 years he stayed with him. And he says, till you die, I will be here, Sri Ramakrishna says. He says, and he exactly stated. And he says, what about my wife and son? Okay. You are so concerned about them. Okay, till they stay in Dakshineswar, I will stay, he says. And only after all the three are passing away, he was shifted to Shampukur. That we know that. How he comes to then Kashipur, he is shifted finally or for good from Dakshineswar. So he stays in Dakshineswar till this person, Mathurnath Das, was there. So Mathurnath Biswas stayed with Sri Ramakrishna or met him all the time. That was during the 14 years of his being the estate manager, till his death. Even on the death bed, when he was there, when people were scandalizing Sri Ramakrishna, that so much he did to you and you are not going to see him in his house. But 1 week before he had gone there, he met him. But Sri Ramakrishna said, I have told him that I will be in my subtle body with him when he leaves the body. And it was exactly so. At the time of death of Mathurnath Biswas, a very beautiful thing happened. He says that how beautifully it is written, Sri Ramakrishna was in Samadhi at that time in Dakshineswar. At that time, he became absorbed in deep Samadhi in his room for a couple of hours while his spirit, that is Ramakrishna's spirit, went forth out and nobody knows where it went to. But that day, Mathur has been taken to Kalighat, a holy place in South Calcutta. And at about 5 p.m., Sri Ramakrishna came out of Samadhi and said to Hriday, who was nearby, look, the companions of the Divine Mother took Mathur with love and care into the celestial chariot. How beautiful. His soul has ascended to the sphere of the Mother Loka, the abode of the Mother. It's called Devi Loka. We all know there are many lokas are there. Recently we have been discussing about one devotee came and she asked me that is there truth in telling that there is a Ramakrishna Loka? A very beautiful question. We generally ask this question, So this question was put to me. So I thought, what is your doubt in that? Now, is there anybody who has come back from Ramakrishna Loka to tell, yes, I was there in Ramakrishna Loka? If I say I had been to Ireland, you will believe because I went to Ireland and came back. So like that anybody is there? No. There is none to tell you that yes, I have come back from Ramakrishna Loka. Then how can it be true? Then I said, every divine avatara, every divine spirit has got its own association with space. A particular space is allotted in this sphere. What is this sphere? We have this earth sphere is there, then astrosphere is there, then stratosphere is there. There are many spheres are there in this world. One of the spheres, that Loka is situated. But exactly can you pinpoint? No, we cannot pinpoint. But every deity whom we worship as our Ishta Devata has got associated with a particular space, and the space is allotted as Loka of that deity. So there is Vishnu Loka, where Vishnu is associated with the space. Like that, a space associated with Shiva is called Shiva Loka. Likewise, for Ramakrishna also, we have taken up this. Suppose you don't believe in this theory, then at least you should believe the sayings of the great direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. I asked her. She said, okay, I am ready to believe the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna's teachings. I said, the second president of the Ramakrishna order, Swami Shivanandaji, was the first person to popularize this term Ramakrishna Loka. He himself used to say, I am waiting to reach Ramakrishna Loka. He never said, I want to have mukti, or I am going away from here, I am going to have moksha, etc. Nothing he said. He always uses this word, I am waiting for Ramakrishna Loka. That word itself was popularized. In Bengal, I have seen when I was in Seva Pratishthan, Calcutta, some people used to come and give me a card, a mourning card printed in black color, and it is written there, my so-and-so father's name is given, my so-and-so father has reached Ramakrishna Loka. Instead of telling that my father has passed on or passed away. So passed on is a term we use in South Africa, and of course in India we say passed away. So that is how this, they say that the Ramakrishna Loka is written there. So the disciples, their sons and daughters, they believe that their father has gone to Ramakrishna Loka. So there is likewise, there is a Devi Loka. Devi Loka's helpers, the wonderful ladies, that celestial chariot they brought, and they took the soul to the Devi Loka. This was seen by Sri Ramakrishna and later told to Hriday. So, do we agree Devi Loka? If you agree Devi Loka because Sri Ramakrishna said, you must agree Ramakrishna Loka also. Yes, we are all devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, and as devotees of Sri, I am not talking about your jnana, etc. Forget those things. As a simple bhakta of Sri Ramakrishna, we feel that there is a Ramakrishna Loka after this life, where we would like to go. It is called Salokya Mukti. The Saloka, that is called Salokya. Salokya Mukti is what we want. And if you ask most of the devotees, they all will say, yes, Maharaj, we don't want moksha. We want to stay with Sri Ramakrishna. That's a beautiful concept, in bhakti, a very beautiful concept it is. That I want to stay with my Ishta. I want to stay with my Vishnu. I want to stay with my Shiva. Like that you think that as a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, you want to stay with Sri Ramakrishna. And where you will stay with him, Salokya Mukti, where you will get in Ramakrishna Loka. If that space is not there, you will not go there. That's why this has been understood. The 4 types of mukti Vaishnavism speaks. All the theistic faiths, they all speak about this. Salokya, Samipya, Sarupya, Sayujya. These are the 4 types of muktis. They speak about that. And in that mukti, you can have as you desire, as the devotee desires. I want to be in the loka of Sri Ramakrishna, or I want to be nearest to Sri Ramakrishna, or I want to be joined with Sri Ramakrishna, or I want to be in one of his body parts of Sri Ramakrishna. So in what way? 4 of the ways that you can think of, you can become one with the Lord that you are worshipping. Yes?
You just said that, do I want to be in the loka of Sri Ramakrishna, or do I want to be nearest to Sri Ramakrishna? So, what is the difference between the two?
The loka is a space like Dublin. It's a space. But EVS is a particularized space. The Dublin is a space. Think of a space as Dublin, and within that EVS ashram is there. That is a particular space.
Okay.
So Salokya is anywhere in the Ramakrishna Loka. The space associated with Sri Ramakrishna, anywhere.
Okay.
I don't want to be anywhere. I want to be nearest to him.
Samipya.
That is Samipya.
Okay. So everybody would want to be Samipya only, isn't it?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
That's because of the different temperaments of the devotion, you cannot expect everyone to be same. No.
Thank you, Maharaj.
So, this is how the last end of Mathur Babu comes. But what I am interested in Mathur Babu's life is that he did not accept Sri Ramakrishna just because he was very fond of Sri Ramakrishna due to his nature. Because he saw Sri Ramakrishna making a clay doll of a God's form. And then he was so attracted to that, he went and took that and showed to Rani Rashmani, to his mother-in-law. You see, this new boy who has come, who is the brother of our Kali Pujari, and he has done such a beautiful image in the clay. And she was also thrilled to see that. Like that, several qualities of Sri Ramakrishna attracted him. But he was a true person to find out whether he should accept Sri Ramakrishna's divinity as such though he had glimpses. Someday, he was sitting one day and he was from his window, he was looking at the veranda where Sri Ramakrishna was pacing through and going up and going down, he was going. So when Ramakrishna's body turned towards him, he saw Mother Kali. Mother Kali was walking, and then it turns at the end of that veranda. Sri Ramakrishna turns and goes back to the original position where he came from. And while walking back, the back of Sri Ramakrishna is seen. Instead of seeing the back of Sri Ramakrishna, he saw Lord Shiva's big, jata, etc. he saw. So he saw while going, he became Shiva, and while coming towards him, he was Mother Kali. Then he went there. He ran towards him. And so many people already have gathered outside. They are all standing there. Before everyone, Mathurnath Biswas falls at the feet of Sri Ramakrishna. It was so irritated Sri Ramakrishna at that time, because he was so much of embarrassed. And he says to him, "What are you doing? Hey, you should not fall at my feet." And what these people will think of this? People will say that I have put a spell on this manager of this estate. Why do you fall like this? And they said, "What I can do? I saw you in this way, so I could not sit calmly in my room. I came away, and I know who you are now." In spite of this experience, he wanted to test Sri Ramakrishna. That is the beauty of Mathurnath Biswas. He was highly knowledgeable. He was very well read in English, and then he had English literature, he was well read, and then he had that mind, that mental attitude to test someone and then accept. It was only a vision for him, yes. But then, how do you test Sri Ramakrishna? He tested many ways. I will only tell you 3 instances from the life of Mathurnath Das. So, one of the first tests that we find is, yes, the action of Sri Ramakrishna was not always favorable to think that he is a divine person. Why? Because there are many activities which Sri Ramakrishna did was going against the normality of the persons. Like whom we think normal persons in the society, he was not like that. So there are certain periods when others thought Sri Ramakrishna is out of his mind, normal mind. He has become abnormal mentally. So abnormal mentally means one simple word is that mad. So he has become mad. This was the thing many people in those days were thinking of Sri Ramakrishna. Though sometimes people are perplexed to understand Sri Ramakrishna. Hey, he is the Paramahansa stage, like that they say. But next time, when he does anything which is not at all normally done by any normal man, then they think that he is an abnormal. So he is mad. So this doubt came in Mathurnath also. So what he did was, he went and told his mother-in-law. So mother-in-law also said, yes, if you all think that this Choto Mamu has become mad, so let us clear that madness. How to clear that? You have to take him to your doctor and treat him. So let us find out a good doctor. So one Dr. Ganga Prasad Sen was found out. So they went and told him about the whole story of Ramakrishna's behavioral things. And he said, okay, bring him. And then he was taken to the physician. And the physician thoroughly examined the master. How wonderful, I am thinking, the physician had that wonderful opportunity to see Sri Ramakrishna from head to foot and examine him with all the medical things. And then he says, he prescribed certain medicines, along with that, certain prescribed, arranged a special diet for him. This is the diet you should eat. So with these things, and then lot of cold drinks he should drink always, not warm waters, cold waters he should drink. All those prescription was made, and Mathurnath was very, very up to date in that. Whatever the doctor said, he arranged. That is a wonderful way, that that how Sri Ramakrishna prays to Mother Kali, give me someone who can take care of me, he says. And Mathurnath came and he became he was, this is when Mathurnath went away and he wanted to do something to Holy Mother. At that time he says very plaintively, if only Mathur was here, how wonderful it is. He says that. So Mathurnath was so much devoted to him. He gave everything he wanted. Now even after all these things, Mathur and Rashmani, they did not stop there. So the story goes like this. Seeing his abnormal condition, they thought further that beyond the doctor's recommendation, they thought something, perhaps a woman has to be brought to him, then he will become normal. Now that was quite unwarranted in the case of Sri Ramakrishna's life. But then still they tried. And then a beautiful woman was brought and kept in his room. And Sri Ramakrishna entered the room. And Sri Ramakrishna says that she was a beautiful to look at with pretty eyes. And then I cried out. What I cried? Oh mother, and rushed out of the room and then went all the way near the Ganges. And there Haladari was there. Haladari is a critic of Sri Ramakrishna, you all know. He was there and he told everything to him. You know, the rumor can be easily got into in the air because Haladari is waiting for such news, such juicy news. I said, oh, you saw a woman there in your room and you say she had pretty eyes. All those things, Haladari can make up stories, Anyway, we leave it to Haladari. But then he told Haladari all these things in a very simple, in a very innocent way he told. Then only Mathur understood this man cannot be cowed down like this. He has to be tested in another way. So one day he's talking to Ramakrishna and he's telling Thakur, you see, God's laws are fixed laws. You cannot change God's laws. Then Sri Ramakrishna says, okay, there are fixed laws, but if God wants, he can change the laws. Then he says, no. What God has made a law, and that law has to be fully applicable. God also cannot change. When Mathura says, then Sri Ramakrishna gets upset. He said, no, you are wrong. The person who makes law, he has the power to unmake the law, to remove the law. So that is how it has to be. Otherwise, if some law is made and it cannot be changed at all, then it will be a terrible thing in this world. There will be no discipline in this world. So if some difficulties are found out, then you have to remove those difficulties. So the law has to be amended. Even Indian constitution, you see how many times it has been amended. So many amendments have come. So if the law is critical and the law does not allows you to go to reach particular goal, then the law has to be changed. So this type of argumentation started. Then Mathurnath was not pleased with his lovers. Then he says, Mathur says, refusing is, it is God who made the law that a particular tree will give out red flowers. And it is God who made the law, a particular tree will give white flowers. A red flower tree cannot give you a white flower tree. Sri Ramakrishna didn't accept. No. If God wants, he can do it. And then it went off, so 1 or 2 days gone. And Sri Ramakrishna was moving in the bagan, in the garden. In the garden, he saw a red tree, in the same branch, a white flower. He cut the branch and took the whole thing to Mathurnath. You see, what you said it cannot possible, it is now possible. Mathurnath was stunned. Oh, in the nature, what he says, it can happen. If God wants to change anything, why can't he change? Then if he can't change, how will you call God as omnipotent? There is a lizard here, it says yes. Tick, 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 it says. The tick, tick, So the omnipotency, God's omnipotency, how you will prove that? If you take out that power of changing law by God, the law that was made by God, then how you can call him omnipotent? You can't call. So the omnipotency has to be kept in mind. God is all powerful. He is all knowing, omniscient, and he is present everywhere. That is omnipresent. These three qualities must be there to God. Otherwise, you cannot put God in a embarrassing position. Otherwise, he is not God. So this was the thing. He can do everything. That is what he taught him. Okay, the second time he tested. Third time, that was too far he went. How did he go? Mathur one day came to Dakshineswar and picked up Sri Ramakrishna in his carriage. And he told him, we are going for a pleasure trip. Sri Ramakrishna was childlike. So he said, okay, where we are going? Like that he took his, gamcha also. And they said, let us go. Like that he had went into and sat in the car. And in that carriage. And in that carriage, Hriday also was there. And Mathur was there. And they are all going. And it was going, the route was such, it went to Mechua Bazaar in Calcutta, an area where prostitutes live. And there one courtesan was there. Her name was Lakshmi. She was a very highly honored courtesan there. And everybody knew her name. And because of her, and she's a very costly woman. And to her house, Mathurnath took Sri Ramakrishna. And then they all got down. Master is looking here and there. Where I have come, he doesn't know. And then Hriday has been sabotaging Sri Ramakrishna, staying with him. And he should have told him, he did not say that. So he and Mathur Babu, because Mathur Babu silenced him, because he is still a worker there, an employee only. So Mathur Babu silenced him. So both of them told Sri Ramakrishna, come, you go into that room. Like that they came up to the room and put him inside. So Sri Ramakrishna enters the room and he looks at that Lakshmi. That lady's name is Lakshmi. And he addressed her, O Anandamayi Ma. That is the address he gave. He immediately seeing her, he didn't know what for he has come, etc. Simply addressed her, O Anandamayi Ma. And then he started telling that, oh Mother Kali, my mother has got different forms. And she always makes me very amusing. She makes me always amused by showing herself in different forms to me. Like that he started talking to her. Now she understood. Who is this person who has come here? And then along with her, there are other ladies who were friends of this Lakshmi. One of them said, it seems to me that he is a God man. That's very well. One lady could understand that. Another lady said, our profession may be sinful, but what great good fortune for us that we have seen such a great soul. In our house, in our room, is it possible to see a great soul? We can never think of it because we are sinful profession. But in our place, a God man has come and we are so privileged to see that person. So she is in Ananda. And another person says, sister, what a hell we have invited this man by trying to tempt this holy man. It is an unpardonable sin. Like that she wants. Another lady wants. This conversation is going on and Sri Ramakrishna is completely unaware of anything except thinking of mother. And then he comes out. And then Lakshmi and the other women, the three women, they bowed down to Sri Ramakrishna and they were at his feet shedding tears. At that time, it has gone, say, 5-6 minutes have gone by this time, I presume. And outside, Mathur and Hriday both were standing. They just peeped into the room to see what is happening there. They thought it was not happening. And they were surprised to see these ladies bowing down to Sri Ramakrishna and shedding tears. That is what Mathur was. That was the last test that Mathur did for Sri Ramakrishna. And he was absolutely convinced, here is a man who is absolutely beyond lust. Even 0.001 degree of lust is not there in this person. That he was convinced by it, because no other person would have stood that temptation of Lakshmi. But then he did that. So when he came to normal plane, by this time, and these women started telling Mathur, what you have done? You shouldn't have brought him here. And then etc. reprimanded him. That is what it is said. By that time, Ramakrishna came back into Samadhi, and then he just looking as a child, and then they took him back in the carriage and brought him to the church. So you see, these 3 types of tests that Mathur did was really wonderful. And in these tests, he himself got it. That's why I told recently, I had a chance to go to Bangalore, and in Alsur Ashrama, there was a retreat. So I was to speak about belief and faith, these concepts. So how the faith can be intensified. That was the title given to me. So I was explaining what is the difference between belief and faith. So the faith, once it comes, it is called Shraddha. In Sanskrit term, we use the word Shraddha for faith. And belief is like Astha or Vishwas, all those terms can be used. In Indian languages, we have a lot of many words. So in these words, we find what is the difference between belief and faith. Belief is a particular view which has no experience. If belief is supported by an experience of what you view, then that view becomes faith. So godly faith, how it comes? Unless you have an experience of God in your life, you will not have faith in God. You may believe in God. Okay. That belief will remain at the belief level only. It doesn't make out you have faith in God. But we, in normal terms, ordinarily what we do, we mix up these terms. Without knowing the technical significance of these terms, we use these words in many places, mixing this. So where we have to use belief, we may use the word faith. Where we may use the word faith, we may use the word belief, like this. So what is Vishwasa? Vishwasa is that which is not certified or supported by any experience. If you tell me the Benares is like this, you explain to me, I believe you because you are quite a good person. So when you say Benares is such and such, I believe you. But it has not become faith in me. How Benares should be, I do not know. Unless I go there and see my personally, then I have an experience. So a view that has got no support of experience is a mere belief. A view that has got supported by an experience becomes faith, that is Shraddha. That's why what is Shraddha is discussed by Shankaracharya in Viveka Chudamani. In his commentary in Gita also he discusses. He says Shraddha is Astikya Buddhi, he says. Astikya Buddhi, the Buddhi, the determining factor of our mind, that is called Buddhi. It determines, it decides, that is called Buddhi. That Buddhi understands that it is. If the Buddhi has found out that it is, that means it is Shraddha. Though Shraddha has come within you, that this Shraddha is unshakable, mind you. Only for the preliminary stages, it can be shakeable also. That people can give you a tough time for you in order to shake you from the faith. But the faith, once it comes and it establishes in your mind, it cannot be struck out by anybody. So if you have got an experience of godly experience of, say Ramakrishna coming to you, or he coming to in your dream, is talking to you, and is telling, nobody in the world can say, no, that has not happened. You are only having a belief. You cannot say that. Because I have touched it. I have heard that hot water, if I put my fingers, it will burn my fingers. This is a belief for me. Till I put actually my fingers into hot water and burn it. Once I burn it, the experience has come. And a view that hot water will burn your fingers is now supported by an experience that it has really burnt my finger. Then nobody can tell me in this world, even the Shastras, if they loudly proclaim that hot water will not burn you, I will not accept it. Because it is based on my experience. So this is called the Shraddha. This Shraddha has to be brought. So this is what happened to Mathurnath. Mathurnath tried many times. He tested Sri Ramakrishna, and finally he found out, yes, his experience says that Sri Ramakrishna is away or is above of any kind of humanity. he is divine. That he has understood. Once he understands this, his life changes. He comes to Sri Ramakrishna many times in Dakshineswar, meets him. One after another, several incidents are there. He arranges Sri Ramakrishna to take him to Banaras. And he arranges, all those incidents, how while going to Banaras, Sri Ramakrishna stopped on the way at which place you remember? A very beautiful place.
Devghar.
Yes, Devghar. Thank you, Alpana. She is from Ranchi, she knows. So Devghar. So we have gone to Devghar. Along with her, I have taken her also to Devghar a few times. And Devghar is a beautiful place. And there, Sri Ramakrishna sat down on the street and said, no, I am not going to move unless, hey Mathur, you do all these things. He is an employee of the temple. Mind you, Ramakrishna was an employee. And employee is Mathur Babu. Employee is commanding employer. You have never heard about this. That is what we find. Mathurnath became like his employee, and his first objects to that. We don't have so much money. We have to go till Benares. How can I spend all this money on these poor people? No, nothing doing. If you give them tail, that is oil for their hair, and give them soap for them, I shall not move this place. And then Mathurnath has to get all those items from Calcutta by sending an emissary, and then he distributes everything. And so we say that the seva activity of the Ramakrishna mission started by Ramakrishna at Devghar. And all others we say, Swami Akhandanandaji Maharaj did, in Sargachi, etc. We say many things. But this portion, that what our the serving the poor, that started by Sri Ramakrishna himself at Devghar. So all these things he made. So Ramakrishna's personality became very, very wide open to the public, and Mathurnath was one of the instrument in sending Sri Ramakrishna, bringing Sri Ramakrishna out from his Dakshineswar room. He took him to many places, to many people he introduced, and then he was a great, great devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. And finally, Sri Ramakrishna saw, when Mathurnath Biswas left his body, he saw that he went to Devi Loka. Because Devi sent. These people, you see, and she has shown Sri Ramakrishna who all will be sent, what they will do, etc., etc. So we see this. So that's how this is a very holy life that we can think of Mathurnath Biswas. I will close here so that we can have some type of discussion along with the devotees. You can remark, or you can give an observation, or you can ask a question, or whatever way. I love to see devotees participating.
Oh, Maharaj, there's Cheta has written a message where she says that Maharaj, we most of the time talk about the devotees testing Thakur. Would you please also talk about Thakur's test for his disciples so that we understand what pleases Thakur?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. Yes. We are allowed to test Sri Ramakrishna. That means Sri Ramakrishna willingly accepts our test. You give something to him. That's where that I was telling you. I stopped when I was talking about this belief and faith in Bangalore. I was telling God's words to be heard. Hear the words. First maxim. Second maxim, heed to the word. Third maxim, test the word. These are the three things I explained in the talk. So if I think they have brought it out in YouTube, please go there and you can hear it. It's a beautiful discussion comes after that. So, see, God's testing, it is on our hand, and we want to take a decision. Today I will test Ramakrishna. I will test Ramakrishna. Today I want to eat Japanese chocolates. I tell Sri Ramakrishna. For instance, I'm telling. So morning 10 o'clock, I decided to test Sri Ramakrishna. I said, hey Ramakrishna, I want to eat Japanese chocolate. And at 3 o'clock, somebody comes with a Japanese chocolate and gives me. Today it happened. So the testing, you can do any number of things. It is with you only. It is in your power. But Ramakrishna testing us is not in our power. He decides when he has to test you. How does he test you? How does he test you? He wants to know whether your interest in Sri Ramakrishna, whether your devotion to Sri Ramakrishna, is it stable? He wants to know. Or is it vaguely it is there? If you are vaguely having a impression about Sri Ramakrishna, not actually devotion, he would not come to you to test you. The moment you start thinking Sri Ramakrishna is my all, there is no one that I want to now reach as a goal. He is my Ishta Devata. I believe in him only. Like that, the moment you become a devotee, then he will start testing you. Why he should test you is to give us the idea that our faith in Sri Ramakrishna is strengthened. It is intensified. How do you test? One devotee I met in Durban. I am going back to Durban again. So this lady is a devotee of another faith. So she was sitting there. She used to have a Krishna's image near her bed. So she told the people nearest to her, I hear that from India one Swami has come. Can you tell him that can I see him once? So they came and told me, Maharaj, she's bedridden, she cannot move. Can you come with us? We will take you. So the two devotees, men devotees, they came and took me to her home. And I went and she showed me a chair, I sat, and she was lying down on the bed. And there is a Krishna image. So I asked her, Mother, I heard about your problem. Yes, you are having cancer. And doctors have said within 2 weeks, you have to leave the body, etc., etc. All those things I have heard. I don't want to repeat to you, but I want to know how you are feeling now. She says, Swami, I wanted to see you just before my departure from this world because I heard somebody from India has come. It is a holy land. I have seen you. That means I can now peacefully leave this body as if I am leaving my body from India. So much of faith on India. She's an Indian. She says, my Krishna gave me lots and lots of comforts in my life. From childhood onwards, I have never seen poverty. I have been growing up very nicely. I had a very fulfilling husband who was very kind to me, was loving to me. And I had children. You see, my son is standing here. Like that she showed her son. Her son was standing there. And she says, but by giving this cancer to me, he made me suffer to the nth extent. I could not understand why he could make me suffer like this. And every day, every moment, I could not stand the pain of my body. I was thinking the body should go away from me. No, the body was with me and I am suffering the pain. And one day I loudly shouted at my God Krishna, hey Krishna, why are you making me suffer? Why don't you take me out? Take me, leave this body, make me leave this body. I said, and then the Krishna image which is next to me, he smiled. I heard him telling, I am testing you, my dear. If you think of me, then I will remove all the sufferings, he said. So God tests us. How does he test us? By giving us suffering. Only in suffering we forget God. How many devotees who do not have stable faith in Lord, they come and tell us. At that time I can understand their feeling. They say that, Maharaj, so much of suffering has been. Is Sri Ramakrishna living? Is he not there? If God is not there, that's why we are suffering like this. As if God is there only to remove that suffering. He has got other things also to do. So, he is only testing you. The suffering that you gain, either physical suffering or mental suffering, any type of suffering that you undergo in this life is the test of God. Come what may, come whatever suffering, I shall not move away from the faith in God. That should be our attitude. Then God, what happens? He comes and He takes us. As Mother came, and Divine Mother's escorts came, and how they took Mathur Babu in that divine chariot. Like that, we will be taken up one day.
Maharaj, one question from me, Prithvish here. So, when we talk about dedicated disciples of Thakur, the first thing that comes to mind, and you mentioned it at the beginning, his direct disciples. And actually, in that first inner circle, inner coterie, whoever had come,
Yes.
they had a very distinct role to play to drive the Ramakrishna movement.
Yes.
Each of them had a role to play. So my question is, what role did Mathur Babu had to play? Because we understand what Raja Maharaj did, what Swamiji did, what
Yes.
other monks did. So what was his role that helped Ramakrishna movement?
Wonderful. That's a very good question you put on. You see, the direct disciples have not yet started coming during Mathur's time. You must mind you, 1871 July 14, Mathurnath Biswas passed away. 71. Thakur stayed till 1886. Another 15 years he stayed. During Mathurnath Biswas' time, the boys have not started yet coming, yet arriving. Now you see, the boys started coming after that only. So direct disciples came later. But we may wrongly think that Sri Ramakrishna, the incarnation which has come, had no devotees, who had no admirers before these direct disciples came. It is not so. There were people who were attached to Sri Ramakrishna, who were devoted to Sri Ramakrishna before these direct disciples came. One day, he's talking to Mathur. He's telling to Mathur one day that, hey, Mathur, see Mathur, this I have a vision of Mother Kali telling me that so many devotees will come, so many boys will come. Like that, she showed me. Then he's asking, is it a hallucination? Is it a makeup of my own mind? Sri Ramakrishna is asking Mathur his opinion. He says, why it should be hallucination? Several things she has showed you earlier, and those things have happened. So these things also will happen in future. He says that. So in life of Sri Ramakrishna, what is the contribution of Mathurnath was? Mathurnath was the person who kept up Sri Ramakrishna in all his trials and tribulations. For instance, this Bhairavi Brahmani came. She was a great lady, great sadhika, and she wanted Sri Ramakrishna to practice certain things, and for that certain things are needed. It was Mathur who gave all those things. Today we are able to tell the world that Sri Ramakrishna practiced Madhurabhava. Madhurabhava also he practiced 6 months wearing the women's clothes, and it became a scandal in that area at that time, in that Chileswar. People spoke ill of Sri Ramakrishna because he was walking, talking, sitting and going out, etc. like a woman. Who could understand? Only that lady could understand. That Bhairavi Brahmani could understand. And under her guidance, he practiced this Madhurabhava. And for that, so many things are required. Even to get a sari, from where he will go and ask. It was Mathur Babu who supplied all the women's dresses to him. Not only that, Totapuri comes. Totapuri is, sadhana is different type, not like the previous one. So Totapuri wanted certain things, and Mathur Babu supplied all those things. Suddenly Sri Ramakrishna would have the feeling, so many sadhus while going for that, Makar Sankranti time, people would come and stay in Dakshineswar. And suddenly seeing them, Sri Ramakrishna would exclaim, so many sadhus have come, I should not give Kamandalu to them. Where is his money for him? He would immediately refer to Mathur. Mathur, I want to give this Kamandalu to. So he would purchase hundreds of Kamandalu, and then give to everyone. It was Mathur Babu who protected him with all the comforts and with all the things that are needed for Sri Ramakrishna. So Sri Ramakrishna's sadhaka period, you find Mathurnath had a great contribution. So we must not see Sri Ramakrishna only as a Siddha Purusha. There was a time of a sadhana time also, which has been detailed given in Leela Prasanga. So Saradananji explains that. So that was the biggest contribution. If he was not there, I don't think we will get Sri Ramakrishna for us. Siddha will not come without the sadhana, you see. And sadhana's best friend was.
Very good. Very nicely explained, Maharaj. Thank you.
Maharaj?
Yes.
Jhuma here. With regard to this explanation which you did just now, you just mentioned one sentence where you said that Madhur Bhava that he practiced. At that time, the Bhairavi Brahmani was there. So these, she's basically a tantric sadhika, isn't it? So Madhur Bhava and all these are part of the Tantra, is it?
No, not like exactly like that. You see, this Tantra system also has a Vaishnava Tantra is there. She belonged to Vaishnava Tantra group. The Vaishnava Tantra, Shaiva Tantra, then Devi Tantra. Devi Tantra also is a separate. So these are all separate sadhanas people choose. The Vaishnava Tantra says these 5 kinds of bhavas, like Madhura and the other 4 bhavas, all those things put together, they are all practiced in Vaishnava Tantra.
Okay.
So she was a tantric yogi, but at the same time she practiced Vaishnava bhava. So she knew much about Sri Chaitanya Deva, and she could see all the signs of Chaitanya Deva explained in the scriptures, in the Vaishnava scriptures, in Sri Ramakrishna. So she declared to the world, Chaitanya has come back as Sri Ramakrishna.
Oh, she declared to the world?
He declared to the world.
Oh, okay.
And Mathura Babu was the person who called all the scholars.
Right. Yes,
and
yes.
He told Bhairavi Brahmani, you speak now about my Baba. He used to call Baba my father. He used to speak. And Bhairavi Brahmani explained to the scholars' place, the scholars' congregation, why she considers Sri Ramakrishna as a.
Okay.
It was the first open declaration.
Oh, that was done by Bhairavi Brahmani. Okay.
And the big Pandits were called.
Yes, I remember.
Yes. When Gauri Pandit was there, he could not attend on that day. He came another day. He was a tantric Siddha yogi. So he had a great power. And then he shouted with the mantra while entering the Dakshineswar.
Oh, yeah.
Ramakrishna heard that. He shouted better than him, or louder than him. So it went on. Finally, Gauri Pandit was silenced.
Right.
Then Gauri Pandit comes and said, yes. And he said, what did those people say? Gauri Pandit asked Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna, in a very joking, he says, all these Pandits came and sat here and they had a lot of discussion. What they are talking, I didn't know. I was just sitting quietly like a boy, listening. And then he says, finally, the Bhairavi Brahmani said that here is a person who is an incarnation of God. She explained that. And then Gauri Pandit says, she has told only lesser. If I would be there, I would have told no, much more than that. He who brought out avatars in this world, he has himself come in this form. That's what I would tell you. Either Gauri Pandit falls at his feet. So that was all arranged by this Mathurnath Biswas.
Okay. And Maharaj, but then we often hear all the Swami saying that Thakur has practiced all the 64 tantric sadhanas. So then what is that 64 tantric disciplines?
You want the list?
No. So is it, so Otashatya, I'm trying to, align this Madhur, you said Vaishnavi, that Brahmani, she got only that Vaishnava Bhava, Vaishnava Tantric. And Vaishnava Tantric, you said there are only 5 bhavas.
No. The bhavas are there. Vaishnava, she belongs to the Vaishnava portion of the tantric cult.
Acha.
Tantra is one thing. A Vaishnava also can take from Tantra, a Shaiva can take from Tantra, like that. So she is a practitioner of Tantra, but then she is, her outlook is Vaishnavi outlook.
So, but did Thakur practice all the 64 disciplines?
Yes. She made him practice all the 64. The worst type of Tantra, which we did not even unable to think of in this present society, those type of Tantras also are included. And Sri Ramakrishna came out successfully he passed every test.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. S, I don't know who's S. S has raised a hand. So, yes, you can carry on.
Namaste, Swamiji. Maharaj, all our sufferings, then it's a blessing, Maharaj.
Good question.
Yes. Very good. Now you have understood why suffering should be considered as blessing. Because God is testing me by giving the suffering, and the suffering I am getting is nothing compared to other sufferings. Is it not? We always say, when we say that, oh Maharaj, I am suffering in my life, see the suffering of Sita, see the suffering of Kunti. We say, they did not suffer? We say. Why? The suffering is very good. That we should not consider as a curse of God, as a curse of Devatas or Mahapurushas. We should take it as a blessing from Sri Ramakrishna. If you take as a blessing, you will be able to withstand the sufferings. And once you withstand the sufferings, you gain the strength. Sri Ramakrishna would say, you have passed the test.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you, Maharaj.
Yes, Malay.
Yeah, Maharaj, I have a question related to, this is a question being asked. So you say, if there is a suffering, consider it as a blessing, right, of Sri Ramakrishna. So how should I approach it as a blessing so that I can come out of it, Maharaj? What should be my approach?
You see, every suffering, like every pleasure, has to come to an end. When the suffering starts, we think the suffering is not going to end at all. It is going to be there with me for all the life, we think. But how foolishly we think? Because the suffering and the pleasure and the pain, both are temporary. They have a starting and they have to end. Agama payuno anityaha asukam lokam imam prapya bhajasvama. Sri Krishna says, this is a asukam lokam. This you have covered it, and this agama payuno anitya, they come and go. No pleasure is always with you. No pain is always with you. So once you have the idea that this suffering that has come because of certain previous reasons, we do not know. Suppose I go and stay with a patient and then I get infection. That is the reason why I got infection. But infection will go one day. The suffering of the body will go one day. So we are thinking the suffering, when I am having suffering, I am going to have it all my life like that with you. Not understanding the suffering also has an end one day. It has to come to an end. That's why it is a blessing. These two, pleasure and pain, will come again and again, will be changing from one to another. But we shall have to, what is our training in this? Our training is, we have to become Sthita Pragya, as the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says. Sthita Pragya, the Pragya, the knowledge that is stable. Stabilized mind we should have. We are not very pleased with the pleasures, neither we are unhappy with the sufferings. Both let them come. Let them come both. But I will keep my mind stable. I will not be imposed by any of these two features. That is the Sthita Pragya Lakshana, it says. So Sthita Pragya is our goal of life. In the modern life, if we have to emulate somebody, then we have to emulate the Sthita Pragya.
Thank you, Pranam.
Maharaj, I like to sing a song, Maharaj.
No, there is no time, because the sponsor, Prithvish. If Prithvish allows you, I don't have any objection.
Pranam, Maharaj, Pranam.
Namaskar.
Maharaj, I have a question, Chandrani here. Whether this suffering is a test of the Thakur or it is our karma fal?
You have taken me to a very, very broad subject. So, another 1 hour I think we should spend now. Anyway, I'll try to put it as brief as yes. The karma phala theory, if you were it is very, very complicated theory. And so much of things we are speaking about that. And it has got so many facets of understanding about this karma phala. Anyway, But if Sri Ramakrishna gives me suffering, if I take it as a devotee, should I consider that the suffering has come due to my own karma of the previous birth or in this birth itself? Now, what is we are talking about the devotional aspect of the individual. If I am a devotee, I should consider the suffering that is given by Sri Ramakrishna. Now, who manages this law of karma things? Who manages everything, that whatever karma I have done, the fruits of the karma are going to come to me? Who manages this? It is Lord only. Is it not? So instead of telling very sorrowfully that, oh, my karma has affected me, like that, instead of going into depression, we say, God is now testing you. It's actually the karma, law of karma is operated by God only. Ultimately, God only does, He only sees your karma and then He gives you punishment or pleasure, whatever it is. So it is coming from Him. But for the sake of understanding about law of karma, we say, I have done something wrong some time past. That is what I am affected now. So this is those who follow karma yoga without the belief in God, for them this idea is okay. But for the devotees, this idea has to be supplanted or supplemented with another idea that God is giving us. That is it. It's only a different viewpoint, that's all.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Maharaj,
Chatterjee Mosai Bul.
Maharaj, I have just a simple question. From the Advaita point of view, how do you judge Mathur Babu's vision of Shiva and Goddess Kali at the same time when he was walking, when Guru Maharaj was walking? So, how do you see it from the Advaita point of view? What we talked now is from the Bhakti point of view. So, how do you judge this from the Advaita point of view?
I think there is nothing to say about that, because in Advaita, I am and my worshipable God is one and same. I am not different from the God. Here, he did not feel like that. He was in absolutely Dvaita point of view. Mathur Babu was in a Dvaita state of mind, not in Advaita state of mind. If he had seen Shiva and Kali, both sides, then he should have felt that I am in them, they are in me, he should have felt. But he did not feel like that. He was a devotee, so he went and made a prostration to Sri Ramakrishna. So that shows that he was not in Advaitic state of mind. In Advaitic state of mind, this type of visions do not occur, do not come across.
So basically, it is the state of mind which will...
Exactly, correct. The mind has to stay in 3 stages. From that, it has to go above and above and above. You know, you have to, first stage is God without form, without name. Nirakara, Nirguna. That is one state of mind. Another state of mind of sadhana is God Nirakara but Saguna. Another state of mind is God Saguna Sakara. These are the 3 states of mind in philosophy we call. So from there only we have to take up our sadhana. Either in any of these 3 bhumis, one has to stay. So he has to stay in either of any of these bhumis. Staying in Advaita, that is in Nirakara, Nirguna, Upasanas bhumi, and you cannot practice the Dvaita form of worship. If you follow Dvaita form of worship, you have to come down to the another bhumi, which is called Saguna Sakara. So in philosophy, we discuss all these things. Yes.
Nicely explained, Maharaj.
Maharaj, we have crossed 11 minutes over the time, so I'm just asking if anybody has got any more questions. It's almost 5:45 for Maharaj, I think now. Maharaj, I think I know clearly no more questions now, so with your blessings.
But should I ask someone?
Yes.
I'm seeing Purna here from UK.
Yes.
Purna, do you have any question?
No, thank you, Swamiji.
Nothing. Okay. God bless you. Okay, then
Thank you,
please,
Swamiji.
you can close.
Yes, Maharaj, if you just, how will you like to close?
Yes, I will say that my prayers. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tatsat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Pritish, any announcement is there regarding next class, etc.? You can say that.
Yeah, so yes, our next class is next Sunday, where we will discuss Kathamrito by Swami Shantatmananda. And Maharaj, the seekers of next dedicated disciples class will be on second Sunday of next month.
That is the 14th of April, and
14th.
7th of April is the third class on Kathamrito by Swami Shantatmananda.
With Swami Vimokshananda ji, we have got one class on second Sunday and another on fourth Sunday. So second Sunday is the dedicated disciples, and the fourth Sunday will be the seekers of God. So this time, because of other urgent matters, the second Sunday event got pushed to the fifth Sunday. And thanks to Maharaj for accommodating us. So with that, we can close, Maharaj.
Before you close, Prithvish, I would. Okay, yes, Maharaj. You can close at the right.
No, I have to.
Pranam Maharaj.
Yes, namaskar to everyone. Goodbye to everyone. Durga to everyone.
Pranam Maharaj.